Hello, fellow Kenyans, and welcome to Manifesto podcast. So, President Ruto is about to give his State of the Nation speech for the second time, and today we want to dissect the essence of the speech, whether it's actually fulfilling its function or it's just a waste of the afternoon. So, let's dig in. The State of the Nation address is alluded to in the 2010 Constitution, Article 132, which states among it the functions of the president, where he will address the nation on all the measurements and progress achieved in the realization of the national values which are referred to in Article 10 of the Constitution. Now let's jump to the Article 10 of the Constitution, which lists the national values and principles of governance as follows. They include patriotism, national unity, devolution of power, rule of law, public participation, social justice, protection of the marginalized, good governance, transparency and accountability, and sustainable development, among others. Now, an important thing when you are reading the Constitution is not just the words, but you look at the intention of the authors of the Constitution. The authors of the Constitution deliberately left out issues to do with the party's manifesto because in this event, it's about the president exercising his functions as a symbol of national unity. So, party politics aside, this is a speech that's supposed to instill patriotism and give hope about good governance in the country. That said, I think we have been doing this event wrongly because both the president and his immediate audience, which is the MPs and the senators, don't really understand the function of the address. Let's go through some examples of reactions by the honorable MPs, senators, and even cabinet secretaries from the State of the Nation address in the year 2023.
As a ministry, remember when we came in, the key statement that the president made today was that we must live within our own means. And so ours was first to stop new projects. And we agreed that we can't start new projects because that would require us to spend more, to do more borrowing, to do extra expenditure that is going to break the headroom. Now, what we've done in the ministry is to give ourselves a target of completing the existing pending roads that are that is a length of about 3,500 kilometers. Remember that we have a pending bill that is currently pending of about 150 billion. We have been, the whole year we've been having lengthy conversations with our development partners. We think that we have made great progress, and the president is going to be able to update the nation early next year that we should be able to resume construction of most of the roads.
The main thing that actually brought me to Parliament was not even for the presidential address. The president came to Homa Bay. He promised me a road himself. So I wanted to ask him about the road he promised me. So immediately he stepped out. I asked him about the road he promised me when he came to Homa Bay, and he said he was going to act. That was the main thing that brought me, because you know, being a member of Azimio, I can't go to State House to ask for that unless Raila tells me to go.
And there are two things I'd like to report on. One is the style of delivery, and two, the form. On the style, you see that the president came up very well. In fact, some Kenyans think that he was doing it out of his memory and out of his mind, but he was actually using the technology of a teleprompter, which was very well presented. Still on style, the president, before delivering the speech, had spoken to hundreds of Kenyans last night on phone, from farmers to fishermen to beneficiaries of the Hustler Fund to community health volunteers, so that he was speaking on issues that are speaking to the Kenyan. But on form, I would like to say that it was short, packed and punchy. He was able to cover the areas that he is required to cover on the matters of national development and aspirations, on security, on our international obligations, and in summary, he has told us that he has laid the foundation in the last 1 year. If the foundation is firm, I know we can springboard to the development that is promised in the Kenya Kwanza plan.
Next, I'm going to take you through an article made by the Daily Nation as a reaction to the President's 2023 State of the Nation address. So as you can see, this is the article that was made by Nation, and they did a fact check of what the President said during the State of the Nation address. And as you can see, so it's a breakdown. These are the main things that he said. that they had commenced about the last mile fiber optic connectivity. We were in the plans to clear the 500 billion debt, and that for the announcement that NYS will be training KWS and Kenya Police and military personnel. If the president's speech this year was supposed to achieve or accomplish the spirit of Article 10 and Article 132, he would have to mention something to do with the biggest event around good governance in the country that happened this year, which is the Gen Z revolution of between June and July. He will have to mention the steps that the government has taken to promote patriotism, which was being displayed by the young generation. And also you'll have to mention something to do with, because the speech is supposed to instill a spirit of social justice in the country. You remember police were involved in killing a lot of unarmed protesters, and also there were events that happened in Rongai and Githurai along Thika Road, which we have not had any progress about it. So he will have to mention things like that. That's what the State of the Nation address is supposed to be taking care of. It's not the time to talk about fiber optics and building of 400 markets. In fact, the duty to build markets is solely for governors and MCAs. So I don't even see a point where the president will take any amount of time to talk about these things, because the State of the Nation address is not a campaign speech. So it's not about the style of delivery, neither is it the opportune moment for Azimio members of parliament to approach the president asking for development in their areas of jurisdiction. So in summary, the State of the Nation address is a time for the president to give an address to the nation that instills patriotism and gives us hope for that in the coming future we're going to have good governance in the country. I'd like to know your comments about this topic. So kindly add your comment below. Let's have the discussion. Thank you.